Good morning. It is Monday the 6th of April, which is now day 14 of the UK lockdown. And I thought I would capture my thoughts this morning rather than later today, mostly because I've got lots of things going around in my head, and I thought it'd be interesting to share them. First off, it's Monday morning, and Mondays I traditionally love because we start off with all the plans for the week, got everything lined up, lists of what needs to be done and what the focus is and key objectives and all those good things in place. And I must say, over the last couple of weeks, it's been particularly difficult, even though in my world, in theory, not much has changed. I'm used to working from home. I'm used to, continuing and providing online support and products and services and all those good things. But I think if I go back to the 16th of March, 16th of March? Yeah, 16th of March, which was the first Monday that most people were working from home. It was when it was recommended that people worked from home as much as possible. And that day I know I felt a huge amount of fear. And I've talked about this, what was, what was going on then. And I think largely it was driven by the reality of COVID-19 being here and having to do things differently and seeing the whole business world change, sort of as lockdown took precedence and people were being encouraged to stay at home. So that was that week. I'd also been watching a lot of media, and that is not good for me. I know that, and I see other people saying similar things recently. So that was that Monday. The next Monday was the day that we anticipated the lockdown being announced, and it was announced in the evening. So effectively we started on Tuesday the 24th was our first official day of lockdown. And here we are now, day 14. And where am I? Where am I thinking, and how are things feeling? It's an interesting one because I am finding that I've got so much to do. I am working, I would say feels flat out, but actually at a steady but enjoyable pace, but long hours. Having to fit in things like all the dog walks and all the other little jobs. Chatting to somebody last week, and she was saying she's now the cleaner, the chef, the wife, the mother, and still trying to do her job. And this is really, really relevant for so many people. And trying to fit all those jobs in, and I love it. I personally have always liked the option of, gosh, the sun's out today, let me just go and put a load of washing in, carry on doing what I'm doing, and then when I'm ready, go and hang it out. And it's giving me that break, getting up from the desk and being able to move and do things that need doing, but at the same time it gives that real mental break and just creates a bit of variety. But this lady that I was talking to, Joan, she does not like that at all. Her personality profile is completely different. When she's doing something, she likes to do it and likes to keep the space completely secure for what she's doing. So then it got me thinking about, how is this affecting other people? Have you created space in your home where you've got your different zones, zones for doing things, where you're working, where you're eating, obviously where you're sleeping, where you're relaxing, where you're interacting with the family, just where you're doing things. Have you created the zones, and are you using them that way? Is it feeling right? And have you needed to adapt to what was there before? It's something that we talk about quite a lot. There's all sorts of things about keeping the reality and things in order, and keeping a routine. I've talked many times about the importance of a routine, and one of the things that's on my list to do is to share the information that I've shared with a group specifically about well-being and routines and things, and I will do this at some. I hope this week. Because my list today. And this is where I started off. My list today, when I look at a list that I made sort of middle of last week, there's some things on there that really should have been knocked off quite quickly. There's some things that really has been sitting there at the top of the list since Wednesday and wouldn't take a huge amount to get done. So why aren't they getting done? What is going on? What is sort of the thought process or the things that are happening in my world? And I've been trying to analyze this to see how I could be more efficient this week. My overriding observation is that it isn't procrastination. I'm pretty sure it isn't procrastination. What I think it is, and somebody called me out on this a couple of weeks back, and I ignored it. I like to help people, so I think I'm giving a lot of my time to places and people that are needing it right now. But I don't measure that because it's not necessarily business time, and I don't have a problem with that at all. I think it's great. What I don't do though is recognize that I do it, and so being able to be aware of the time that I do give to other people and that I willingly give it, and I'm very happy to give it, and then accepting that X portion of my day is going to be involved. Charity is not the right word, but on a giving for others basis, and then that kind of leaves to how do I get done the things I need to get done and the things I have to get done. And so that's where I am now, is trying to sort that out. And I'm not alone. The people that are working are absolutely flat out. They're either pivoting their businesses, providing essential services, doing what they've always been doing but are extremely busy right now doing it. And then I was looking at a tweet this morning, sorry, I'm looking at my laptop down here where I kept it open. So Simon Cotton, who he's a very, very good man in so many ways. He does an awful lot of good things. He's the MD of one of our hotels in town, the Harrogate Hotel. So he's a pretty busy man, and there's a lot of things going on. And obviously at this time, hospitality industry is definitely needing to pivot what they do, and people that are providing meals are certainly out there looking at how they can do things. Restaurants, how can they provide food in a different way? How can they keep the supply chain moving and keep all those people that have been dependent on them buying products? How can they keep that going, keep that side of the economy going? But also, who are they providing the meals for now? And so many businesses are providing meals for the NHS workers because they are working incredibly long hours. When they do get to the shops, there's sometimes not been food available for them to buy. And at the end of the day, most of them are so exhausted they don't feel like making food. So the chef Tom Kerridge has, I think it's called Meals from Marlow, and he's turned his kitchens into providing ready meals and donating those to the NHS. Now obviously he's got a huge amount of support and sponsorship, and so he's getting funding in, and he's asking for more funding today to raise to provide this service. And I think it's brilliant. This is a real example of pivoting. And I know and I've gone completely off Simon's thing, having gone there, never mind. The hotels are changing what they're doing. They're providing accommodation for key workers, so preventing people or saving people from having to travel, providing isolation services for people that are needing to isolate for whatever reason. So many of them are also now finding their way into the new world. And Simon, they had been planning to do some renovations and things during this time, and I'm sure they've got lots of other things going on too. But he was saying yesterday, so today was my first day off in 3 weeks, which in reality ended up as an 11-hour shift. popped in to check on the small team we have keeping things going and ended up finishing at 10 p.m. Loved every minute of it. Busy day and been buzzing. Thanks, Harrogate, for all your support. Now, that's incredible. There are so many amazing people doing such incredible things, and really thank you. Thank you to all of you doing everything that you're doing and everybody keeping things together. But it really brought home to me that we need to be looking after ourselves, and we need to take time out to make sure that we're having a break. It's not sustainable to go on indefinitely pushing in two aspects. One is it's not sustainable for us ordinarily, and secondly, whilst we're going through the crisis with the pandemic, we need to keep ourselves physically, mentally and emotionally as well as we can. It is essential to keep our well-being at the forefront of everything we do, because if we are not strong for ourselves, in ourselves, we are really going to struggle to provide support and services to other people. So that becomes an absolute essential that we need to do. And it was lovely to read a post on LinkedIn from Teresa Bow, who is just an amazing, she's an accountant in Harrogate, but she's just an amazing lass. She's a real entrepreneur, strategic thinker, just sees the world differently to many people, and very, very dedicated and focused to her well-being. Active, always out on the bike or running or walking or doing things. And she's been, obviously, as an accountant, has been working stupid hours, as most accountants have been, for the last few weeks while everything's changed and people are struggling to know what to do with their businesses and how to get funding and how to just keep things together. And I loved seeing Teresa's post, I think it was on the weekend, saying actually she's reverting back to her hours that she put in place beforehand. She's now time to look after her and the team, and that she's provided everything that she can for the moment to her clients. She's been fantastic at putting out blogs, and I've been sharing her blogs in various places because they have incredible information and are really helpful. But now she's doing the right thing and looking after herself as well as her clients, because if we just keep giving to others, we are not able to keep it going. We're not able to look after ourselves, and we're not able to look after the people that need us the most. So this is my lesson for me today, I think, is with all the things on my list, there are things there that need doing, things that I want to do, and things that I must do. And it's identifying which ones are most important for me, for my business, for my clients, for my family, for my friends, and which ones can wait till tomorrow or the next day, but which ones are also going to help more people in a meaningful way. In other words, which ones are most aligned to my vision. And I was listening to a podcast yesterday when I was out and about. Amy Porterfield was talking with Michael Hyatt, and it was really interesting. It was good. We all know about mission and vision and what to do, but it was a really interesting conversation. Your mission is what you're doing right now and how things are, and your vision is where you're aiming to go to. And it can be, it should be big and scary, and who knows how you're going to get there, but you have this vision of what you want to achieve ultimately. And if you keep focusing on those, you're able then to identify what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And is this important to me? Is this important to my business? Is this important to my future? And it's really important to be able to say no. It's that being able to step up and go, no, this isn't going to add any value. This is not what I want to be doing. And it can be really hard. It can be really hard for the yes people, the people pleaser people, for those that are passionate about wanting to help others. It is good to help others, but we need to be really cognizant of how we're doing that help. If we're helping others at the expense of ourselves, it's not sustainable. it's not good business, and it's not setting a good example for the people we're helping. They become needy, they become dependent. It's not a good example for our children who are observing what we're doing and looking at ways of working, especially now that we're all together, and going, is that what I should be doing? Is that what's expected of me? And it's not good. It's not good to be living someone else's lives. That expectation that you believe people have of you is something that we really need to guard against creating. We need to be looking after what's important to us and valuing us, our time, our space, our well-being, and from that space then able to provide value through services and products and whatever else for others. And this is going to sound probably controversial, but whilst there's an element of giving, there also needs to be an element of exchange on the value, and that exchange can be something as simple as toilet rolls, or eggs, or whatever one's needing at the moment, or just time for a coffee. But value is key, and there needs to be an exchange for the value, and that's what economies run on. There's that exchange. If we don't continue providing value and charging for it, even at a I hesitate to say at a reduced rate, but at a rate that's appropriate for the time, let's put it that way, then we are also not supporting the economy. We are becoming part of the problem, and that's not great. So I think my day-to-day this week is, for me, a pretty cool week, in that I've got a huge amount to do, and sorry for that, but this is reality. It's a live recording, and I don't edit it out, so I've got a lot to do. It's prioritizing what's important, and then it's getting on and doing it, and at the same time fitting in my walk, fitting in calls with various people that I need to have calls with. This morning I took time to chat to my ex-husband and message my mother-in-law, whose partner died yesterday. It was old age, it wasn't anything to do with COVID-19. And those are times when you need to just pause, spend some time thinking of the family and how everyone's doing, and what a beautiful life people have had, and give recognition for that. Obviously none of us will be travelling to the funeral, that's quite an interesting concept. Not even people that live in South Africa, because if they're in different towns, they won't be if there are any funerals at all. I think this is something else that's stopped everywhere, in many places. We're not able to follow traditions and rituals that we are used to following, and that also brings a few different changes of mindset. So yeah, lots of things to think about as we are heading into a new week. And I don't know whether I should do this as a separate one or not. I think I'll just touch on it briefly here, but I think it'll probably be a separate comment as well. That we are in a new week, day 14, having done many 40-day challenges with my yoga, and I don't know, those who know me will know that that's a really important part of my world. The factual thing is that when you do a 40-day challenge, when you hit to day 16, sort of day 16, 17, 18, 19 are tough. They're really tough. That's when things start hitting home. What has been fun, when you start off, things are really fun and exciting. When people first started working from home, it was like, yeah, let's find out how this works, let's see what it's like, and then it's all the tech things, and so there's all these new things to learn, and then it's getting into a new routine. And then it's a routine, and then it's like, now you do this is how you do things, this is what you need to do every day, and that's when things start getting a bit tough. So my message to you is, be kind to yourself this week in particular. Take time to do your walks, get your exercise, get out there, do the things that are important, spend time with the family, find creative ways of entertaining yourselves. Just do different things. Enjoy this time out. It really is time out. Cocooning is the word that Jim Quick used, and it does feel like that sort of nurtured space. It is for me starting to feel like a very nurtured space. So find a way to enjoy that and to maintain through this next week. I'm pretty sure it's going to be extended. I don't have a crystal ball, but just looking at the numbers and where things are and how things are going, I'm pretty sure we're going to have an extended time of this. And to be honest, for that, I'm okay with it, because I feel safer being at home, but also I'm enjoying finding new ways and enjoying looking at what's important. And I think that's it, what's really important. So with that, Monday, good luck. Have a fun week, and keep smiling, keep doing exercise, keep breathing deeply into you, right into you. Talked about this last time. And just, yeah, go safely. Take time for you. Have a good week.